What happens to our bodies when we abstain from sexual activity for an extended period? You may wonder if things shift physically, whether our reproductive health or hormonal balance changes, and how long-term abstinence interacts with things like our menstrual cycles, libido, and contraceptive use. And if we're on birth control, should we continue? Or does stopping have its own effects? We'll address these questions together. Our bodies are set with a certain number of eggs at birth, and this finite supply naturally declines over time. Whether or not we're sexually active, this gradual egg loss is consistent with our ovulatory cycle. Each month, whether we're engaging in sexual activity or not, we release eggs as part of the menstrual cycle, moving slowly toward menopause. Menopause itself is marked by significant hormonal shifts that bring about unique physical and emotional changes. For now, we'll stay focused on what goes on before that stage and save the rest for future discussions. Now, let's talk about contraceptives. Deciding whether to continue them during abstinence can be a personal choice, but stopping hormonal birth control specifically has its own effects. Our bodies may experience adjustments, like changes in skin, mood, or menstruation, as they rebalance hormonally. While the specifics depend on the type of contraceptive used, it's useful to know that it takes time for our systems to adapt. Exploring these aspects gives us a clearer view of the natural ebb and flow of our reproductive health, with or without sexual activity. And whether for curiosity or wellness, understanding these changes helps us appreciate the rhythm of our bodies as we make informed choices along the way. Let's start by looking at the menstrual cycle and how it typically works. When we're not engaging in sexual activity, our menstrual cycle generally follows its usual pattern, unaffected by our level of intimacy. Hormones are at play here, orchestrating a consistent cycle whether or not we're sexually active. The body, remarkably in tune with its natural rhythm, keeps our cycles steady, unless other factors like stress or health changes come into play. Now, when contraceptives aren't involved, our body's cycle remains largely predictable, a monthly routine we can expect. This pattern of hormonal shifts creates a rhythm that unfolds with surprising regularity. With no intervention from contraceptive methods, the cycle flows as intended. Sexual activity itself doesn't alter this process, meaning we can expect the usual phases, menstruation, ovulation, and the premenstrual phase, to continue unimpeded. Interestingly, our menstrual cycle relies heavily on internal biological cues. This system, finely tuned and self-regulating, moves through its stages, largely unaffected by the presence or absence of sexual interaction. The cycle depends on a symphony of hormones, such as estrogen and progesterone, which guide us through predictable physical and emotional changes each month. Unless we decide to introduce contraceptives, this natural process follows its rhythm, allowing us a certain level of predictability. If we choose to avoid contraceptives, our cycles stay more closely tied to our body's natural timing. This means that in the absence of intervention, most of us will experience a cycle that continues on course without significant changes. Sexual activity does not typically have a direct impact on this hormonal flow, making it a background process, unobtrusively in sync with our body's own timing. Our menstrual cycle is a self-sustaining process. The natural progression from menstruation to ovulation happens regardless of sexual activity. When we're not on contraceptives, our cycle operates freely, generally uninfluenced by our level of intimacy. It's a fascinating reminder of our body's resilience and its capacity to maintain rhythm amidst our day-to-day activities. Next part, it's about the intriguing contrasts between men's and women's experiences of sexual desire. For men, desire often awakens quickly, like a light triggered by movement, illuminating at the slightest suggestion of attraction. This readiness is spontaneous, fueled by the immediacy of the moment. Men's response can often feel like a reflex, where a simple thought or glance sparks an almost instant interest. This immediacy can bring a sense of excitement, highlighting how quickly their desire can be ignited and maintained. Women's experience, however, often follows a different rhythm. Their desire may build gradually, kindled by more sustained interaction, trust, and emotional closeness. It's not simply about a quick response, but rather a journey toward connection that brings desire to the surface. Women may feel the warmth of attraction as a slower, more intentional process, requiring touch and emotional engagement. This approach enables them to savor each moment more profoundly, finding satisfaction in the journey rather than a fast ignition of desire. Understanding these contrasting experiences of desire can deepen intimacy, communication, and satisfaction in relationships. Here are 6 ways couples can explore, honor, and bridge these differences. 1. Create a ritual of connection frequency. Daily or at least a few times a week. When? Set aside time, perhaps in the evening, when both partners are winding down. How? Emphasize small rituals like sharing a meal, exchanging compliments, or unwinding together without interruptions. For men, these moments may foster a quick connection to desire, while for women, this ritual builds intimacy, laying a foundation for desire to grow. This time also enables both partners to get attuned to each other's needs, easing into intimacy without pressure. 2. Practice sensual, non-sexual touch frequency, several times a week. When? During calm, unrushed times, such as while watching a movie, before bed, or in the morning. How? Engage in non-sexual touch like holding hands, cuddling, or giving each other massages. This can offer men an outlet for physical closeness without the immediacy of sexual pressure. For women, this creates space to enjoy the warmth of touch, helping desire grow gradually. Non-sexual touch can foster comfort and affection, giving both partners a way to feel close without rushing to the endpoint. 3. Communicate desires and boundaries. Frequency. Weekly check-ins or whenever needed. When? During a relaxed moment, not during or immediately before intimacy. How? Have open discussions about what each partner enjoys, needs, or feels comfortable with. Men might find this helps them understand how to engage in ways that foster gradual desire, while women may feel more connected when their needs are voiced and heard. This communication fosters respect and trust, paving the way for each person's unique desire style to flourish. 4. Engage in shared experiences outside the bedroom frequency. Weekly or bi-weekly dates or activities. When? Choose times when you both feel energized and relaxed. How? Plan activities that both partners enjoy, like going on a walk, cooking together, or sharing a hobby. For men, this shared time can generate immediate connection, while for women, it creates emotional closeness that can spark later interest. This shared experience encourages a sense of partnership and adventure, helping both partners align emotionally, which is foundational for desire. 5. Try a balance of spontaneity and intention frequency. As desired depending on the relationship. When? Blend spontaneous moments with planned dates or weekends. How? Experiment with moments of spontaneity, like a surprise kiss or an impromptu date night, while also scheduling intimate time. Spontaneous gestures can satisfy the immediate desire often felt by men, while planned moments cater to the gradual build that women may prefer. This approach allows couples to enjoy the fast and slow rhythms of desire, creating anticipation and excitement. 6. Focus on emotional and physical foreplay. Frequency. Each time before intimacy. When? Begin well before the actual moment, with texts or sweet gestures during the day. How? Men may find pleasure in engaging in emotional foreplay that caters to their partner's needs, while women can appreciate the buildup of attraction. Starting well before a potential intimate moment with small gestures like kind words, Thoughtful messages or compliments can help synchronize both partners' levels of desire. This allows men to experience the depth of gradual desire, while women can enjoy a sense of closeness before physical intimacy unfolds. Embracing these practices can help both partners appreciate and adapt to each other's rhythms, enriching their connection and fostering a satisfying experience for both. Interestingly, a woman's cycle also brings a natural fluctuation in her experience of desire. During ovulation, for example, she may experience a unique increase in sensitivity and responsiveness, almost as if her instincts are more attuned to physical closeness. In this phase, her desire can be heightened, and even subtle gestures may evoke deeper feelings of attraction. However, this increased awareness can also bring a blend of sensations, both pleasurable and occasionally uncomfortable. This nuanced response is a testament to the complex, layered experience of female desire, guided by both her body's rhythms and her emotional state. These natural differences create a balance that can be fulfilling for both partners. Men's quick response offers spontaneity, while women's slower buildup adds depth and meaning to their connection. These rhythms complement each other, inviting patience and understanding into intimacy. It's a reminder that desire isn't a single path, but a dance of timing, attunement, and connection that enriches both partners. By honoring each other's unique rhythms, we create a space where desire is more than an impulse, it's a shared journey. This understanding invites both patience and curiosity, fostering a deeper connection that respects each person's needs and natural flow. Abstaining from sex for an extended period can lead to varying levels of sexual desire. Initially, some may notice an increase in libido, but as time progresses, many experience a decline. The body adapts to the absence of sexual activity, which can lead to a perception that intimacy is less significant. Hormones like oxytocin and dopamine, crucial for enhancing pleasure and connection, often decrease during this time, impacting our overall sense of intimacy and enjoyment. As the period of abstinence continues, psychological factors come into play, leading to a buildup of inner tension. At first, this might manifest restlessness or a mild craving. However, as time goes on, this can transform into discomfort, creating a noticeable sensation within the body. Such tension can serve as a reminder of the disconnect we might feel from our natural rhythms. Engaging in hobbies, physical activities, or social interactions can help alleviate this tension, providing constructive outlets for our energy. 6 strategies to help manage the mental, emotional, and physical impacts of an extended period of sexual abstinence. These approaches can support balance in libido, hormones, and overall well-being. 1. Exercise regularly. Frequency. Aim for 4 to 5 times per week, with a mix of cardio, strength, and flexibility exercises. When and how. Start with morning workouts or short bursts of exercise throughout the day to maintain energy and stabilize mood. Physical activity can release endorphins, reduce stress, and improve your sense of well-being. Exercise also increases testosterone and can help balance sexual desire, making it easier to manage abstinence. 2. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Frequency. Try meditating daily, starting with 10 to 15 minutes, and increase gradually as desired. When and how. Find a quiet time each day, either in the morning or evening, to sit comfortably and focus on your breath. Mindfulness can help redirect thoughts away from unfulfilled cravings and reduce stress by keeping you grounded. Focusing on deep breathing can also soothe the physical sensations that come with inner tension. 3. Engage in creative outlets. Frequency. Dedicate at least 2 to 3 hours per week to a creative hobby, such as painting, writing, or music. When and how. Choose specific times each week to fully immerse yourself in creative pursuits. These outlets allow you to channel emotional energy into something productive and can bring a sense of satisfaction and pleasure similar to that derived from intimacy. Creative activities can stimulate dopamine release, improving mood and reducing feelings of restlessness. 4. Cultivate strong social connections. Frequency. Connect with friends or family a few times weekly, whether in person, by phone, or virtually. When and how. Schedule regular get-togethers or video calls, especially during evenings or weekends, to build emotional support. Socializing releases oxytocin, the same hormone that promotes feelings of connection during intimate experiences, helping counter the effects of its absence due to abstinence. 5. Explore self-compassionate self-care routines. Frequency. Practice self-care daily, with longer self-care sessions 1 to 2 times per week. When and how. Include daily practices like journaling, reading, or taking a warm bath, and set aside time weekly for deeper relaxation, like a massage or spa day at home. Self-care nurtures your physical and mental well-being, helping to release tension, support relaxation, and provide alternative ways to experience pleasure. 6. Set and pursue personal goals. Frequency. Revisit and work on your goals weekly with daily check-ins or progress updates. When and how. Use free time to set goals that reflect your passions, such as learning a new skill, focusing on career growth, or setting fitness targets. Pursuing meaningful achievements can redirect focus away from sexual desires, providing purpose, a sense of accomplishment, and enjoyment. Each of these strategies provides a productive way to manage the changes associated with abstinence, supporting a healthy mindset and balanced energy. For some, exploring alternatives like self-pleasure can be a way to manage this buildup. Others may prefer to find non-sexual activities that bring joy and satisfaction. Pursuing creative outlets, engaging in sports, or cultivating friendships can redirect our focus, allowing us to channel energy into fulfilling experiences. These diversions can not only offer relief, but also remind us of the variety of ways we can find pleasure and connection in our lives. When we eventually decide to re-enter the realm of intimacy after a long break, we may need to navigate a period of adjustment. Our bodies, having acclimated to a different routine, might take time to respond fully. The natural processes of arousal and lubrication may initially be slower to kick in, prompting a gradual rediscovery of our body's responses. This transitional phase invites us to reconnect with our physical sensations and understand the changes that come with renewed intimacy. During this re-engagement, many discover a refreshing sense of novelty. The experience of intimacy can feel revitalized, allowing for greater sensitivity and awareness. As we become accustomed to this reconnection, we often begin to notice the smaller details that enhance pleasure. This renewed appreciation encourages a more profound understanding of intimacy, prompting us to savor the experience as we rediscover our own desires. Prolonged periods without sexual activity can shift our perspectives on relationships and intimacy. In the absence of sexual connection, we may begin to value emotional closeness and shared experiences more deeply. This newfound emphasis allows us to explore different ways to express affection, fostering a sense of partnership that extends beyond physical interaction. As a result, we may find ourselves developing a stronger bond with our partner based on mutual understanding and emotional support. We can gain valuable insights into our desires, our relationships, and our overall well-being. Whether we choose to embrace sexual intimacy or explore alternative avenues for connection, this experience enriches our lives and broadens our understanding of what it means to be intimate. Exploring the relationship between sexual activity and the risks of both urinary tract infections, UTIs, and sexually transmitted infections, STIs, reveals important aspects of health and hygiene. When we choose to abstain from sexual contact, we reduce our risk of STIs significantly, as these infections are typically spread through intimate encounters. This reduction can bring peace of mind, eliminating a common avenue for STI transmission and allowing us to focus more on other health priorities without the worry of contracting these infections. However, UTIs present a slightly different picture, as sexual activity can impact our urinary health in unexpected ways. Frequent intimate contact often encourages us to urinate more regularly, which can help the body flush out bacteria before it has a chance to settle in the urinary tract. This natural process is protective, as it keeps the urinary system cleaner and reduces infection risks. Without this level of activity, our bodies may experience fewer urges to urinate as regularly, potentially allowing bacteria to accumulate and increasing the likelihood of a UTI. Individual anatomy and hygiene practices further influence UTI susceptibility, regardless of whether or not we're sexually active. For some, the proximity between certain areas of the body may mean a higher susceptibility to bacterial transfer, underscoring the importance of consistent hydration and proper hygiene to help maintain a healthy urinary tract. So, while abstaining from sexual activity does provide a reduced risk for STIs, maintaining these other preventive habits is essential for balanced urinary health, protecting against both common and less obvious sources of infection. Now, let's explore the concept of secondary virginity. Although not a term formally recognized in medicine, it offers insight into the physical changes that can occur after an extended period without sexual activity. Over time, the body adapts to a new baseline, and certain physiological shifts may follow. For instance, after prolonged abstinence, the body may experience a decrease in the elasticity of the vaginal walls, leading to a feeling of tightness that resembles initial sexual experiences. This change is natural, as the tissues adapt and the level of comfort shifts, creating sensations that can feel unfamiliar. As the body adjusts during a time of celibacy, there can be shifts in the body's natural lubrication and elasticity. Over time, some individuals may find that these adjustments affect their comfort, and the body may feel different upon resuming sexual activity. This change is due not to a return to a former state, but rather a natural response as the body's patterns adapt to long-term celibacy. Just as muscles and other parts of our bodies can feel different after periods of non-use, the tissues in the vaginal area experience similar changes that might temporarily make sensations feel more intense. It's essential to recognize that while the experience of returning to sexual activity after a break can have some parallels with early experiences, the idea of regaining virginity is more metaphorical than literal. The body does not reset, rather it temporarily adjusts to new physical conditions. Understanding this helps us approach these changes with awareness, patience, and respect for the body's natural responses. This awareness can also help in managing expectations and preparing for any adjustments that might be needed for comfort. As we experience changes in our levels of physical intimacy, our bodies may gradually respond in noticeable ways. One of the most common shifts can occur in the pelvic floor muscles, which naturally engage during various activities, including moments of closeness and movement. When these muscles aren't activated as regularly, they may begin to lose some strength, leading to subtle changes in our body's natural control mechanisms. This might become especially apparent during moments like sneezing or laughing. However, incorporating simple exercises like Kegels into our routine can help re-engage and strengthen these muscles, supporting a renewed sense of stability and control over time. In addition to changes in muscle tone, some of us may also sense a difference in our general cleanliness. Our bodies are naturally equipped with self-cleaning systems, And with fewer activities that lead to friction, such as physical intimacy, there can be a reduction in cell or secretion buildup. This natural process can result in a lingering sensation of freshness. It's fascinating to see how our bodies adapt to shifts in activity, offering a unique experience of cleanliness that we may not have noticed before. The sensation of lightness and comfort in our own skin can be both refreshing and reassuring. We might also observe that our routines feel simpler or easier as our bodies adapt to a slightly less demanding physical rhythm. Without certain activities, our energy can shift toward other areas, allowing us to focus on rest, self-care, and balanced physical practices like stretching or gentle movement. These small changes can lead to an overall sense of wellness that adds a new layer of comfort to our daily lives. And through these gradual shifts, we're reminded of our body's incredible adaptability, a feature that works quietly in the background, subtly enhancing our quality of life. Ultimately, embracing these adjustments can deepen our appreciation for our body's natural resilience. While it might feel new to observe these changes, they're simply our systems responding and adjusting to our current lifestyle in positive ways. We may find that our energy, balance, and sense of well-being take on a new quality as our bodies settle into these adaptations. By focusing on gentle care, mindfulness, and activities that help maintain balance, we support our body's ability to thrive at every stage of change. When choosing to abstain while on contraceptives, it's worth considering whether to keep or remove them. The main purpose of contraceptives is pregnancy prevention, so they may no longer be needed if we're not sexually active. Hormonal contraceptives, in particular, can affect natural cycles and may come with side effects, so it's essential to carefully weigh our options. If we choose to stop, our bodies will generally return to their regular cycles over time. If we decide to resume sexual activity after a period of abstinence, it's normal to experience some initial discomfort, but this usually improves with time. Let's keep the conversation open in the comments. What changes have you noticed after taking a break, and how has it affected your experience?